A pipeline rupturing in Arkansas, spilling thousands of gallons of oil, forcing
20
families from their homes.
school children, almost between the ages of 5 and 10 years old, shot and killed in their elementary school.
Tens of thousands took to the streets, some hurling firebombs.
The ocean's angry right now.
States of emergency. Tropical force winds extend for 1,000 miles.
Where the explosion killed 11 people, injured more than a dozen others, and unleashed some 200 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico.
High Court in London is to hear a case over the use of uranium-enhanced weapons by US-led forces during the infamous Iraqi Battle of Fallujah.
Surrounded the Spanish parliament for a second day to protest against austerity.
An environment program recently reported the glaciers they monitor worldwide are melting at an accelerated rate, losing an average of 20 inches a year, increasing the risk of disastrous floods and other calamities.
Amid the global ecological and social crises we now face, there is also a growing recognition of the need to restore a healthier relationship with the living earth and with each other. Despite our material abundance, our inner lives are impoverished. As a consequence, Americans have become the most medicated and psychologically challenged population in recorded history. Reduced to the label of consumers, we are using up the world's resources in vain effort to fill this inner void.
We are lost and we are numb and we are sick. And we feed our sickness by, shopping, by eating, by drinking alcohol. It's meant to numb our sense of emptiness and our alienation in the universe itself.
Many people feel powerless and feel empty when just accepting the reality presented by the 6 o'clock news. We feel so overwhelmed with everything that's going on.
We've lost our connection with the earth and the sun and the moon and Creator, and we've lost our connection to each other.
Who am I? Why is there suffering? What's the meaning of my life amid all this chaos and turmoil? The fact is there are a lot of people seeking. Recent studies have indicated that in a given year in America alone, tens of millions of people are seeking and not finding means of happiness, spiritual fulfillment, and personal growth.
I believe people are wanting to look past traditional religious thought and have practices where they're actually embodying their connection to each other and to the planet in a way that feels real and present in their lives.
The Pachakuti Mesa tradition, apprenticeship series, and lineage tradition is, to me, crucially important right now because humanity is separated from themselves. We are separated from each other. We're separated from nature. Many of us spend hours and hours and hours every day looking at a screen so that we are disconnected from the living life that is on this planet.
One of the unintended consequences of the scientific revolution has been the uprooting of us from the living earth. At one time, the majority worldview was that we were indeed part of this living cosmos.
It has very much helped my practice as a healer and helped my clients when they made their own mesas and helped them become self-healers and not just look to someone else to be a healer.
So my best of days, before clients come in, I'm kind of working with the mesa to just ground myself into the space that I have and to think of my office as a sacred space too.
I'm currently working in a crisis center and people are coming in with a host of different situations, but one of the primary threads that they all seem to present with is a poverty in their life, a spiritual poverty. They lack connection not only to themselves, but to their community, to those around them. And there's a lot of suffering that goes along with that. And the practice of working with the Mesa absolutely benefit that aspect of connection and the need to tap into a deeper sense of purpose and a deeper connection with those around them.
it is so universal. It is truly a distilled essence of mystical practice that has been part of our heritage, part of our inheritance on the earth.
I can have an idea that I want to be a better person, that I want to connect with the earth, and that I want to release old thought patterns that no longer serve me. But to have the power of a simple ritual or ceremonial way to do that, to me, makes the healing so much more profound.
We are doing what our ancestors have been doing for thousands and thousands of years.
One of the great powers of these indigenous wisdom traditions is to create for us, help us create for ourselves, a coherent cosmology, a coherent understanding of our place and our meaning and our value in the living universe. That's what makes us happy. That's what makes us less destructive. That's what will carry humanity forward. It's not technology that's going to do it.
The power of this tradition is that it is accessible to anyone of any spiritual practice or walk of life. In this way, we're training each other to heal each other, and that we come together in groups as friends and community to do healing practice, to do ceremonial earth-honoring practices, to unite ourselves as one faith.
I have always felt that the ancient curanderos or pacos or shamans that created and maintained this tradition were creating it partly for us in this time. They knew that we would go through this Pachakuti or world reversal, and they were giving us a dashboard with which to not only survive but thrive.
Oscar Miro Quesada, through the directive of two of his teachers, was asked to take the pantheon of practice and knowledge and wisdom that was part of the two traditions that he was studying and bring them to the north and make them understandable to people that are in the industrialized world. When we do this work, we suddenly become part of that great history, that great story. And that is powerfully and uniquely healing. When we do these practices, we cease to be alone in time and space. We become part of a long chain of heritage and initiation and of wisdom.
It's really exploring, understanding who I am as an embodied being and my place in this evolving universe around me, this majestic universe around me. And I think it's incumbent upon each of us to understand why we're here and our purpose here, and to understand our vital connection with the planet.
It makes us want to be for the earth and for other people rather than against or exploitative of.
We are meant to be a healing force for each other, for our community, for our planet.
It's almost as if you recognize that you've become part of the solution.
We are not separate from the divine. We are not separate from each other. We are not separate from nature. We are connected. We are all one.
So to paraphrase Buckminster Fuller, we sit at the precipice of utopia and oblivion. Now is the time that we need to do everything we can to catalyze transformation and awakening, especially in the industrialized world. The fact is that we are faced here with perhaps the most destructive and pernicious form of poverty that the world has ever seen. It's the poverty of the inner world, the poverty of spirit. And our way of unconsciously addressing that poverty is to try and consume and fill that inner void. And as a consequence, we're destroying the planet. We need you to be part of our mission to help people remember who they truly are in relationship to themselves, to their communities, and to the living world. Because short of that remembrance, it is very unlikely that we're going to create the preferred human future that we all know is possible.
Opa, Hano, Seste, Eyanekawa, Aiki.
Technology is not going to do it. Innovation is not going to do it. We will create a planet that exists in balance, in peace, only by remembering who we truly are and embracing the fact that we live in a living and vibrant world.